Hey guys, Artosis here with the Bombastic StarLeague. We are in the finals. It's a best of 7, and this is game number 2 between Dewalt and Mihu. If you haven't seen game number 1 yet, definitely worth checking out. A very different style coming out of Mihu. Hopefully Dewalt got his hour of sleep and is going to be ready here for map number 2 on Revolver. A very interesting map for Terran versus Protoss. Excited to see if Mihu's going to keep that style going. The very unit-heavy, slow expanding style that he's been using. And if Dewalt is going to have an answer for that. All right, let's do it. In the top left, we have Mihu. And in the bottom right, it's Dewalt. All right, so let's talk about that last game just a little bit. Mihu's kind of unit-heavy style doing very well for him. Just macroing heavily. I don't think that his push with the 8 tanks was very good, but he was still able to win from there. And a lot of times that can be hard, but you know, he gets a lot of factories early on. He's very slow on the upgrades. For someone of his level, he's probably the slowest upgrader I've ever seen. Ever with Terran. You know, it's kind of just generally accepted that you need to get those upgrades really quick as the Terran player. But, you know, honestly, like, again, there isn't just one way to play StarCraft. Whatever your style is, you can kind of make it really good. If you work at it, if you know its ins and outs, if you know what you're doing with it. So it's exciting to see. I mean, I'm digging it, and I can't wait to see if he's going to go like for a similar style. I think he is, because it's just been pretty regular from him. But over on Dewalt's side, I think he's got to be careful with his units early on. He's definitely got to make sure that he's got them spread correctly, that he's not giving any up. I think he opened the last game really well, destroying that push. But yeah, maybe if he can get his 5th base up on time a little bit better, he'll be stronger here this game. Now, it looks like we are going to see a Nexus first out of Dewalt. And it's something that I actually, you know, for every Terran vs. Protoss I cast in Revolver, which is a lot of games, I normally mention that Nexus first is very strong here. It's pretty hard to bust Nexus first. And here it's cross spawns, and Mihu's going gas. So, like, there's really no way for him to punish what Dewalt is doing directly at the beginning of the game. So we'll see which one, if this is going to be a 1-gate or a 2-gate Nexus first from Dewalt. If it's a 1-gate, then he's just like in very good shape, because he's going to be able to tech up super quickly from there and have that Nexus advantage. Now, another thing to mention is Mihu, if I'm recalling correctly, he likes the 3 depot expansion without End Scout. So the lack of End Scout will actually help him, but it looks like he'll actually get down there before the 3rd depot gets started. So I was going to say, like, if you start 3rd depot and then find that they're cross spawn, that's the worst case scenario. Because then your command center is so slow. The probe comes up and Dewalt sees he is in fact cross spawn. And it looks like Dewalt's actually just doing the 1 gateway. So yeah, this is really good for Dewalt right now. I am liking it. Mihu gets in, sees that Nexus. And now we can see how he wants to react to cross-spawn Nexus first. And, you know, that, other than, of course, cussing and hitting his table. Which I assure you the best Terrans in the world do as well. But, yeah, this is a little bit of a tough position. 3rd depot. Okay, I guess he's going to go for a bust. Wow, that's fascinating. Okay, well, now, it's not that it's not doable. And like, Dewalt doesn't know that it's coming. And don't forget, he went 1 gate. But that is a very long travel distance. A very long travel distance. Plus, he has to go up a tiny little ramp. I think if Dewalt micros this right, he can hold his Nexus. And if you hold your Nexus against this, that's a win. Now, oh my god, it looks like he wants to proxy something up there. Okay. If he does something like starts a robo right away, that's not going to bode well for his chances, right? Is he making a Dragoon? I sure hope so. Only 1 Zealot at the moment. Here come those SCVs. Oh man, was Dewalt actually a little bit too greedy here? Look at that, the SCV coming back to block that Zealot, getting extra shots off. Up come the SCVs here as well. Not really microing at all over here at the ramp, at the eggs. So Dewalt not even pulling probes as of yet. Look at this. Look how calmly he's just sitting there. Doesn't seem to care at all. Now, he is making something across the map, and he is just going to give up the Nexus. And this is not a bad choice. If you think that you're not going to hold it, then this is an excellent choice. Like, if you fight with your probes, lose your probes and the Nexus, then you're behind. But if you just pull the probes back, like, Dewalt actually has a bigger economy right now. He has way more workers than Mihu, and all of his workers are mining, whereas we have a huge amount over here that are not. Now, Dewalt just getting whatever damage he can with these Dragoons. He is proxying that Dark Templar attack. Now, the one thing about the proxy DT, it can be very good, and it really can catch people off guard. But you always go spider mines really quickly with a Nexus bust. So we'll see if he actually has any mines laid at home. If he has enough mines laid at home to stop the first Dark Templar, then Mihu is going to be really, really far ahead. If the first DT gets in, though, that very much can be game if he hasn't started any sort of detection. Okay, a siege tank rolling out. Again, certainly that is mines that is on the way. There should be a DT popping out pretty quickly here. And looks like we're going to have a little bit of a push. He doesn't have enough to really actually do this, but looks like he wants to lay some mines down. Oh, Dewalt trying to drag the mines into these two vultures. Doesn't quite work out. And some good micro overall on both sides here. A little bit of scuffling going on. The fact that there's no range yet, it should be a little bit of a giveaway that there is some big tech coming. Ooh, runs into these mines a little bit. Does hit that other mine, though. Backing up. Okay, here comes the DT. Oh, this is going to be fascinating to see if this DT just wiggles in and kills him. Oh, God. He doesn't have an eBay start. He doesn't have anything. If a siege tank's being made, I think he's just going to GG. Yeah, look at this. The DT comes up, starts killing absolutely everything. So that contain is basically done. The eBay is being made, but there's a DT in his base, man. A full health DT going to town. Mihu going to try to save himself here. Maybe start a second engineering bay. But that is an academy. Oh, God, that's even longer out. That is 2 full minutes before he'll even have a scan off of that. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad. Now, you can pump out some vultures and try to lay mines. It is just 1 DT right now, but there should be a second one walking over right about now. Still can't get that eBay done. Losing a lot. Look at those supplies. 51 to 35 right now. DT walking up through the mines, so that does not work out. Another DT coming. This 1 DT dealing so much damage. All right, a vulture coming up to lay some mines. Oh, God, a DT getting... He might GG. It is a real possibility here. But he does have his comsat coming, right? Like, he's going to be able to start that just momentarily. Oh, the mine gets up. Oh, the DT retreating during it takes less splash damage there. Nice suicide in there from Dewalt. Another eBay has been started. More DTs. Still walking around. Oh, my God. That was a good idea, the mine drag. Doesn't quite kill the SCVs he was looking for, unfortunately. Try to drag this DT into more mines. We'll lose another tank. I believe the academy is done. We don't see any comsats being made, unfortunately. Oh, man. 49 supply left over. There is not a chance in hell, like, Flash would get completely bodied from here. Like, Dewalt is a million miles ahead at this point. DT's just still walking up. Try to throw a turret down. Mihu with that fighting spirit right now. Yeah, I'm kind of like going over in my head. It's like, well, you're just never going to have enough units to do anything. And you're not even... Like, Dragoons are going to come up. So now you have to go siege mode to push down your ramp to get your natural while Dewalt's making his third. Your supply is going to get doubled here momentarily. Yeah, here come those Dragoons. eBay kind of floating out. Yeah, a strong move from Dewalt to hide that DT tech right away on the greedy Nexus first, just giving it up right away. And now as this goes up that ramp, Yeah, Robo on the way. More gates for Dewalt as well. All he needs to do is just kind of macro. It's... for Protoss, the game kind of plays itself from here. You can see that's likely Siege. I mean, it could be Vulture speed, but honestly, even getting his Vultures out at this point is going to be incredibly difficult to do. Looks like the eBay going to get picked off here as well. And we are watching a Terran bleed out right now. I wonder what that was. Oh, I think he might be remaking his engineering bay. All right, Siege is that tank up. See, he does need the Siege to push him back. He does have that Vulture speed now as well, so that's kind of nice. All right, scans. He wants to kill off as many DTs as he can. Okay, nice, nice. Picks off 2 DTs, picks off a goon. He's going to retake his ramp. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. All right, a little bit of suiciding on that DT. Yeah, but seriously, look at this, right? The Flaming Command Center coming down. Dewalt right now on 3 bases. He's up 25 supply, so he's got 50% more supply right now when they are this low, right? If it's, you know, if it's like 160 against 120, okay, that's fine. But this type of supply lead here at 54 against 84, no good. All right, Zealot legs are done. The Vulture's trying to get in and get something done. Well, I gotta say, like, Mihu's finding little areas to try to make something happen at least. Photon cannons already being popped up, though. Stop that type of harassment. Has his forge ready. Dewalt playing this very, very calmly, I gotta say. That's one thing I think that I found impressive in this game is even when the rush came, just pulled back, kept mining as long as he could. Before really starting to lose probes, he pulls them back up into his main base, just does what damage he can, and kind of retreats. Really kind of in control of, I guess, you know, the emotional, scary aspect of the game in a way. It's like we're going to have a little siege tank drop. A great idea here from Mihu. All right, throws that scan down. There are some speed lots coming. Yeah, that's going to get cleaned out as well. Looks like he did lose the dropship on its way out, unfortunately. Siege tank trying to get a little bit of damage trade as well as it can. Seriously, if this turns into a real game somehow, no, it can't. It cannot. Like, mathematically, if you look at it, this is the most terrible situation that you could ever be in. In fact, Dewalt right now has high Templars. So, like, Storm basically makes it so your opponent can't attack you quickly because that means they're clumped up and the Storm does too much. One thing I gotta say is Mihu's style in general is probably pretty reasonable. Like, he's probably pretty reasonable in a terrible situation because he's not ever trying to really get those upgrades, right? He's just massing units, which is kind of what he needs to do right now. So he's going to be probably a little bit more comfortable with the style that he needs to play from this position than most people. But again, a lot of times games like this become more of a math problem than like, oh, some sort of magic can occur. Well, Mihu's floating a 3rd CC, or will be shortly. He's making the 3rd CC at least. Massing up a few siege tanks here and there. 4th base being taken by Dewalt. Up in that top right, getting those cannons in there. Oh, looks like we're going to have a little bit of a storm drop. Ooh, some serious damage goes down onto that SCV line. And already hurt economy for Mihu, taking a bit more bruising. Still down over 50 supply, though. We'll see if he's able to actually secure this 3rd base, or Dewalt's going to try to put more pressure on. Oh, wow, that's a lot of missed shots. I actually, yeah, I guess that is low ground there. Dragoons coming into the side. Okay, going to be able to push those back for now. But look at the army that's flooding onto the map from Dewalt. There's some probes being transferred to the top right. Oh. And actually, that's mostly just Dragoons. But I saw he was making Zealots. So Zealots with legs should be coming in shortly. We'll see if he actually attempts to bust. Or we're going to see Dewalt just kind of play the waiting game. Mihu really, I mean, he's still alive, right? He's been somewhat active on the map with his vultures. He's sieging up quite a bit. I guess that is one kind of nice thing about Revolver is, I guess the third base is a little bit more wide open. So you have to be more careful defending that. But at least going into the natural, that tiny ramp is near unbreakable. It's just so small. You can't really attack up it. Couple gates going down at that top right expansion. Fifth base for Dewalt over at 3 o'clock. All right, this is a lot of units coming in. Those 3 siege tanks. See how much damage they can do before they end up going down. All right, 1 storm over on the tank on the left. The second storm goes down. Not losing too much here. Dewalt pushing in, and more tanks are coming. I mean, if the Zealot count goes down a little bit, you can hold this just with the siege tanks. Like, Dragoons can't really attack into this area very easily. Dewalt backing up. Doesn't want to suicide in. He's up over 60 supply now. So, maintaining that advantage. Mihu's starting to peak up in those minerals a bit. He is finally getting those armories. So, I mean, obviously that's a big part of the game if it goes long. Like at 30 minutes, maybe we see a 3-3 army fighting against Dewalt. Still a long ways off that, though. Taking another base is going to be a little bit tricky. I think he has to expand to the right, which is kind of nice because he can maybe attack into Dewalt there at the top right base. But realistically, I think we'll see Dewalt just expand all over the bottom left. Yeah, actually, he does have a Nexus going down there. A little bit past 6 o'clock. There's some more storms going down, but a decent SCV transfer, not losing that much. Arbiter's out now here for Dewalt. All right, Dewalt has been kind of sweeping the map during all this, right? Like, he's keeping slight pressure on at the edges. He's almost maxed out. And I gotta hand it to Mihu. He's gotten a very solid supply count. He's up around 140, which is, at 140 supply, it's kind of an important number for Terran, because at 140 supply, if you are set up correctly, you can stop a maxed gateway-based army. Like, just defensively, basically, you can live through a maxed out attack. So that's kind of a big deal that he was able to get to this position when he was, you know, what was it, 32 supply against 51 or something after the DTs got in. He was making another command center. He's starting to run out of some of these minerals, turtling up a bit. Obviously, his upgrade's still a little bit slow, and Dewalt is taking more and more Nexuses. And yeah, so it looks like he wants to take 9 o'clock. Now, how does he actually push down there? Because what I said before, right? 140 supply, you can hold on in the right position against a maxed out army. But, ooh, a recall is going to be coming in. But hold on, this is not actually ready. It's at 140 energy. I believe we saw this before from Dewalt as well. Looks like Mihu is kind of catching on to this. A lot of ultras going up into that main base. Going to throw a bunch of mines down. Is that Arbiter actually ready? He's going to fly right over everything. He does have the recall energy ready, flying over all of those mines. Here we go, going up into the main part of the main base, and a big recall goes down. That is a lot of units to have to deal with. A lot of SCEs going to end up falling here as well. Does he have enough scans even? A great Psystorm goes down on this one siege tank that's up front. Zealots running into these vultures and mines a bit. EMP goes off. The EMP not the most useful, but wants to make sure he doesn't get stasis at that ramp. Siege tanks flowing up here very quickly to help push this back. 1-1 already done. Looks like +2 on the way. And another attack coming in now. Oh, if he can actually break this, then that could be like a GG moment, right? But it seems as if we might have just enough for Mihu to hold on. No, I guess not. He's got to bring those units back from his main base if he is to end up holding this. Looks like Dewalt does want to evacuate the area. 3K in the bank right now. Shouldn't be too hard for him to get back up there. Looks like we also have carrier tech here ready. Could transition into that now. You know, when you get into this type of position where you have this many maps and your opponent is this defensive, a carrier tech switch is not a bad idea. Now, here comes that command center. Is that the main CC that's floating over to a new 4th base location? Don't forget he did make another CC that looked like it was meant for 9, but it's really hard. He's getting stretched very thin trying to take these additional bases. Now here we go once again. Coming up, a good stasis on 4 of those tanks. Not the biggest army from Dewalt. He's attacking with like a very small army that's mostly Dragoon based against these 2-1 tanks. All right, another bomb in here with these Zealots. Getting them on top of the tanks a little bit. Dragoons coming up, that command center tanking a bunch of damage. So the Dragoons actually not trading very well. Kind of sloppy play here from Dewalt. And, you know, it's kind of a funny situation. I gotta say, like, it's very, in a way, professional from Mihu. He's putting in so much effort in a position that realistically you look at that and like if you're in a ladder game you might just be like, nah, I'm out of here, right? Whereas Dewalt he's getting a little bit sloppy, right? We can't like overly fault him because he is so far ahead that even trading poorly is good enough. And in fact, sometimes it's even good to trade at a deficit just to make sure your opponent can't come back. But this could be a mindset thing where he's like, this should be mine. This should be so easy. And honestly, some of these attacks are just very small bits of army. They aren't really that well coordinated. He's like, you know, using a great stasis, then followed up with like 8 goons attacking a floating building. And it's like, oh, Mihu is like starting to cut the map in half. And this is kind of unreal that we're now at 160 against 175. I mean, kudos to Mihu for being in this, and the game is still going on. But I don't think you'll find a StarCraft player in the world that will look at the position that we were in earlier and say that this could happen. Not against someone of Dewalt's level. It's just... so Dewalt might be kicking himself. Right? I think Dewalt will still win, but it's getting a little bit closer than you would really want it to be after that opener. All right, a lot of Zealots coming down, but they are not going to trade very favorably. Oh, nice storm, gets the vessel. Carriers are coming up across the map, and it's a large amount. He doesn't really have interceptors yet, but it doesn't take that long to make them. Not a lot of anti-air here. Of course, Mihu does not have a ton of money to switch into Goliaths. It's not like he has a big bank or anything. And here come those carriers. That has to be kind of heart-sinking here for Mihu, who's fought back so valiantly. Carrier's going to start to be very cost-efficient for a Dewalt that has a much larger economy right now. All right, a lot of missile turrets going up. Mihu's spending every little bit of gas right now, trying to get those Goliaths out. Making something out of the starport. I'm not sure exactly what. Maybe that was something he had started before. Maybe he's grabbing a dropship to harass bottom left. I think that would actually be a really smart move. All right, attack coming in here from Dewalt. Storm's going down onto the siege tanks. Not enough Goliaths to do anything against these carriers, realistically. The ground army getting mostly shredded. I'm not sure why the carriers are turning around against 2 Goliaths and a missile turret, but yeah, they turned back around. And You know, I've been saying it for a while that I thought we'd be seeing GG because the position has been so rough, but I mean, really, he's building missile turrets to try to stop like 6 carriers, and here come 3 more. 4 more, we're gonna be up at like 10 carriers at this point. Mihu does have 4 gases. He has 2 mining bases. So, like, it's still a reasonable economy. He's got okay upgrades. But Dewalt looking so strong here, throwing down those additional cannons as well to just slow down any attacks on his expansions. The Goliath's trying to push this back. Popping a few interceptors here and there. It's like +1 plasma shields just finishing up. Burning command center floating down to 9 o'clock. 3-2 upgrades. Hey, 3-2. I mean, when you start getting up into upgrades like this against just +1 attack carriers, Goliaths really can kill them very quickly if you mess up with the carriers at all. All right, Mihu joining armies up. Trying to just hold on to this 4th base with a few missile turrets. Really, even one group of Zealots could run in there and kill that off pretty quickly. But Mihu moving together with a large bit of army here. Some Dragoons from Dewalt in the center. His Zealots, of course, harassing this 9 o'clock base quite a bit, which has forced Mihu to come over. All right, here we go. Those carriers, there's so many. 8, and I see a 9th there. Not sure if that is the entire full count. Oh, a nice EMP goes down. Oh, wow, an EMP +3 to Goliaths. You kind of have to back up against that. But look, yeah, just a few units. Even High Templars walking, just prancing into this 4th base. Looks like Mihu going to be able to clean this up. And hey, Mihu remains in the game once more. More cannons being made. Goliath's going to have a hard time taking those down. All right, nice pick on the Science Vessel. Siege Tank's coming. 2-1-1 upgrades here for those carriers. Dewalt putting in the serious effort to make himself an unbeatable air army. All right, down is going to go the command center. This is where it gets really, really punishing. And there's just not enough supply for Mihu. Wow, 2 carriers do get picked off. Not bad. Of course, his Goliath count getting smaller and smaller. You know, if Dewalt had, like, 1 less base right now, I'd say that Mihu still... or... Mihu maybe can claw his way back a bit more. It's just, look at the amount of mining Dewalt has, right? His natural and main, of course, mined out, as are Mihu's. But he's got that, the top right. He's got both the bottom bases and that bottom left natural. That is a lot of mining bases right now. Like, five fully mining bases? I mean, even 3-2 Terran can't really stand against that for very long. Another little attack coming in. The Storm's hitting the Zealots like it's a PVZ. Some nice micro there from Mihu, trying to hold on with just absolutely minimal units. The carriers come up and join the Gateway army. Looks like Goliath's going to go while Siege Tanks go for a counterattack. Now, Dewalt with 4K, 1K. You know, this is where we might see a lot of Siege Tanks end up going down. If he just rallies like a bunch of Gateway units out of his main, there's no support for those Siege Tanks. But as is, they're going to start picking off bases. All right, some DTs coming out. Oh, nice scan from Mihu. Really on top of things right now. Well, like 3 Zealots come out. Obviously, that's not going to stop a group of 3-2 Siege Tanks. The Siege Tanks now running away after killing that base. A very good choice considering the Arbiter was coming for them. Carrier's going to go back after this 4th base of Mihu's. Mihu's 3rd is now out, but he does have that 9 o'clock base once again, has floated his natural command center down there. The Goliath's coming and trying to fight. Yeah, well, the Dragoon's getting a lot of pot shots here. Some of the carriers getting popped. But Mihu's almost doubled in that supply right now. Oh, the stasis goes down on the remaining Goliaths in this army. And now we have what is called the Finger of God. It is Carrier Arbiter. Anything it touches dies. Just such a fearsome army right there. Picking off oh so much. Dewalt has taken that bottom left main during this as well. All right, Mihu's starting to run around with a few vultures here and there, but okay, we are actually going to see GG now. This is like really, truly... Mihu's supply is doubled. He has nothing in the bank. He's mining from 1 base. The Goliath's coming down, seeing what they can get done. That siege tank dies off. I don't know how many siege tanks we have. It might actually be like 2. We might be down to 2 siege tanks at the moment. All right, these Goliaths going to pick off what they can. 3 siege tanks. All right. Not for long, though. The High Templars going to town. And GG is called. Dewalt ties it up 1-1. Hey guys, Artosis here with the Bombastic StarLeague Finals. We are in game number 3 of this best of 7. Dewalt just tied it up 1-1, getting his DTs into that base of Mihu. But Mihu holding on and kind of making it a game when really it shouldn't have been. So, you know, we have a lot going on here. I'm going to discuss it a bit more. Our map is going to be Aztec. You know, a great 3-player map. Interesting for TVP. Let's get into it, get it started, and we'll kind of talk about the way this series is going so far. Hey, that's the longest a map has been ever on the screen. From the round of 8 up. Congrats, you guys win. Alright, here we go. In the left spawn, we have Mihu. In the top spawn, we have Dewalt. Alright. Oh, okay, so maybe a little forward gate to open for Dewalt. But, yeah, that last game... So, I mean, the DTs did so much damage, and then Mihu kind of almost fought back. It feels like Dewalt was maybe tilting a little bit, getting a little bit sloppy. That can happen. You know, you get so far ahead, you play this much StarCraft. Sometimes it's hard to buckle down and put in 100% effort when you're like 100% sure you're going to win. And I wonder if that is going to be something that's, you know, making the series harder for Dewalt, right? Like, I mean, I've seen so many players suffer from that, where you get super far ahead and you don't finish well. It's such a common thing. I know that it happens to me all the time. But it's not a healthy thing, right? It's not the best way to conduct yourself, obviously. And, you know, if Dewalt hadn't gone into carriers, maybe Mihu somehow calls back into that game. I don't know. But yeah, I hope that Dewalt can kind of center himself here and we can have a good series, because like if you look at that game and how far Mihu was behind and how close he was able to eventually make it, the same quality play out of Dewalt, if Mihu isn't way far behind, like Mihu will win, right? Now I don't want to draw too much out of that situation. I don't want to like overstate it, but it's just something that I'm thinking about right now. So the map is Aztec. It's a 3-player map. You have a low ground main base, which is very different from most maps. We normally don't have ones that look like this. It can be a little bit tricky against stuff like this forward gateway pressure, right? Because attack, like holding a ramp while the Zealot is walking up, you can position your units in such a way so that you're basically getting the first shots off. The Zealot is maybe missing some attacks, but here, the Zealot is going to be on the high ground, fighting against the Terran units on the low ground. So you are actually, as the defender, going to be missing shots, which makes it a lot harder. Now, luckily for Mihu, well, hold on. Let's just see how this micro goes. Ooh, a little bit late on that. Ooh, really? Oh my god, Mihu. Not too quick on pulling those Marines back, unfortunately. Okay, some good micro here. He is going to be able to push that back for now. A second Zealot seems to be coming over right now, and probably a Dragoon following that up very quickly thereafter. But one thing I do want to mention is that Mihu already likes... Yeah, there's 3 Zealots, okay, and then a Dragoon. Mihu already likes 3 depot expands, and that's exactly what you have to do against something like this. He needs to make Marines non-stop, go into a Vulture, and push up the ramp. In my opinion, he should bring 2 SCVs, but he might just go with 1. We'll see. Because you got to get that bunker up real quick. Okay, look at this. A spread of the Zealots. Oh, okay. The SCV on the ramp is going to make it slow down a little bit. He's going to get some good shots there. Oh, that could have been a turnaround for Dewalt, perhaps, but he is just getting in on top of those Marines because he should have a Dragoon coming relatively soon here, but the second Vulture pops out, and that's going to make it really easy to push through. There is that Dragoon. But yeah, I think at this point, it's really important for Mihu to get up there and actually make a bunker. There needs to be a bunker so badly. Now, Dewalt going to throw down his Nexus. Mihu going up the ramp. And he does have the bunker on the way. More Marines being made. Oh, a starport. 1 base starport. All right. A very interesting change here. And because the openers are very different than what we normally see, Dewalt might be thrown off a little bit. He might not really be noticing that there should already be a command center started, something like that. You can get thrown off as a Terran player in this situation. But yeah, really there should be a command center already, or there is something else in that main base. So we'll see if Dewalt kind of peeks in and tries to take a look. He already took a lot of damage on 1 Dragoon. But if you look at like the minerals setup and everything, if a dropship drops off behind those minerals in the main base, there could be a lot of probe death. I am just throwing that out there. This could be really scary. Now, Mihu going to start repairing the bunker. Dewalt has not dived to see if a command center has started. This is a really big deal. Okay, 3 Dragoons attacking. Of course, you need 1 SCV per Dragoon on the repair. And Mihu just has this fanned out. I think he's going to lay 4 mines and then go across the map. Now, it looks like a DT drop is actually what we're going to be seeing here. Look at this. He's making sure to keep this out of vision of those Dragoons so it can't be heard, it can't be seen. Oh, wow. Dewalt is really going to be kicking himself this game. I think Mihu's going to straight up win. Well, I mean, the game may not technically end, but the amount of probes that he is likely to get here... Yeah, nice pick off there onto the siege tank. A little bit sloppy from Mihu. But look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, a little bit of miscontrol there. Of course, he's got to make sure he's still repairing and everything. It's only 2 gates. Laying a bunch of mines. The Dragoons, are they going to come home? Uh-oh, something happened to the Dragoons during all this. And Dewalt, GG's. I think he actually lost his Dragoons. That is going to be that. Mihu leads 2-1.